Since coming in as Lord Mayor on June the 12th, with the help of Dan Breen and my colleagues here in City Hall, I've transformed the artwork here in the Lord Mayor's Chamber to reflect on the historical significance, on the commemoration. And we're in commemoration year, and I think it's of critical importance that we do that, and I'd like to thank Dan for his significant contribution in that. We're standing now in the reception area of the Lord Mayor's office, and behind the first thing somebody sees when they come into the office are the portraits behind me and behind the secretaries. They're portraits of the new City Hall on my left. That's then, beside that, we've a picture of a photograph of the old City Hall pre-burning in 1920. And that is followed by very, very detailed photographs and very significant photographs of City Hall after it was burnt down in 1920. Very harrowing photographs. Some people get emotional when they see them, but that's our history, and it's something we have to commemorate, and it does make an impact when people walk into the Lord Mayor's office. Then, of course, we have a portrait of Michael Collins, very kindly loaned to us, as Dan quite emphatically tells me, and I think it's a very, very important. Collins was a Cork man, and there was little or no I suppose, pictorial evidence of Michael Collins anywhere in City Hall when I came in here in June. So with the help of Dan, we managed to put that one right. And I think Collins played a huge part in the foundation of our state. And it's very, very important that we highlight that fact. And we also have a beautiful painting of the Titanic inside the reception area, because Cork is a maritime port. And we are the second largest natural port in the world behind Sydney, and it's critically important that we do acknowledge. And there's a beautiful painting of the Titanic. After all, we were the last port of call of the Titanic before it sailed off to its ill-fated destiny at the bottom of the ocean on its way to the United States. So we have some very historical cabinets also in the reception area containing some very interesting artefacts. And I will ask Dan to comment on some of the artefacts and also to comment on the significance of the Michael Collins portrait.
So this portrait was painted by a very well-known and famous Irish painter known as Leo Whelan, but he was predominantly known for his portrait work, often recognised as some of the finest ever painted in Ireland. During the early 20th century, he painted many significant figures connected with the revolution, as well as with later political and church figures, such as General Mulcahy, Michael Collins, who he painted while Michael Collins was alive at least twice. We believe this painting comes from possibly the 30s or 40s and was probably painted from a photograph or an image that Leo Whelan had. What's interesting about this painting is if you look to the lower, I suppose the right hand of Collins, it's missing, it's unfinished. We're not really sure why it's unfinished, but the beauty of artefacts like this in the museum, we're still learning new things every day, and we're hot on the trail and learning more about this painting. But we're delighted that it's seeing the light of day and is enjoyed by visitors to the Lord Mayor's office. The historical cabinets on either side of the entrance to the reception room contain many artefacts related to the civic history of the office of Lord Mayor, as well as this building itself. I suppose in the year that's in it, it would be good to point out a couple of interesting photographs that we have here on display. One is an original image of what the council chambers looked like in the original City Hall building, as well as an image of what McSweeney's office would have looked like. I believe that photograph was taken only shortly afterwards he was arrested. So it's probably that photograph would signify pretty much has been left as he would have left it prior to his arrest. There are also a number of other interesting artefacts to the history of the building. Down at the end, and the history of the city, down at the end there's a very interesting menu from a dinner that King Edward VII had in the old museum building in Fitzgerald Park. It was a 12-course meal, which was common in Edwardian times, and it would probably go to explain why Edward VII was quite a big man. There's also an invitation to the throwing of the dart, which the Lord Mayor mentioned earlier in the tour. And there are also a number of other interesting documents and freedoms of the city, and again, gifts and presentations made to various Lord Mayors over the last 100 years or so. All of these are significant reminders of the important work that's done in this building on a daily basis.
Now we're going to move swiftly on to the next room. So this is the reception area completed. We're now going to the meeting room.